Hi everyone, it's Anahata. How are you? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Every week I pull an assisting frequency from the Law of Attraction of Energy Medicine, the Book of Codes, the Anahata Codes. This week we are traveling to a most fascinating category. It's homeopathy. And boy, once you are open to the information found within homeopathy, it is so intriguing and so quantum and so aligned with your inner knowing that it only makes sense that it works in the way that it does. And it's fascinating, really. So let's dive into a quick history. Now remember, there are 35 categories and growing in the Book of Codes. And just because this week we are diving into a specific code found within that category doesn't mean that you can't use this code anytime other than this week. It is a timeless code pulling. We are going to over time archive and explain as many of the codes as we can. So this week specifically is for the week of but not limited to this week. So you can use this code anytime you come across it, anytime you look up this information and it crosses your path, anytime you magnetize yourself to the code in response to what you're asking for. Remember, it is mind, body, soul. If you have a concern, pull a code. If you have an ailment, pull a code. If it is mental, emotional, physical, doesn't matter. And you will magnetize a code that is already in the vibrational frequency range that you need in order to activate transformation and deep healing. So here we go. I'm excited. Let's take a look at homeopathy and then dive into the code for the week. So what is homeopathy? Now, according to homeopathycenter.org, it is safe, gentle, natural. It's a healing system that works with your body to restore itself and improve your overall health. Again, safe for small children, pets, etc. There is no side effects. It's affordable. It's federally recognized, regulated by the FDA, and it's clinically effective and has been so for over 200 years. For both acute and chronic conditions. Thousands of positive outcomes, preclinical and clinical studies. Now, that's all fine and dandy. This doesn't really answer what is homeopathy. Let's explore that. It was created back in 1796 by Samuel Hahnemann. In fact, probably the correct word is discovered. It wasn't created. And based on one of the 7 hermetic laws of the universe, which is we get what we think about, we get what we focus on, and like attracts like. You are saying yes to what you focus on. Now, energetically, the same is for curing ailments. Diluted portions of the molecules that would make you sick can also heal you. How? By activating healing responses. In extremely diluted form, the same thing that would make you sick can actually cause your body to activate a dynamic healing response. So again, this was proposed in 1796. Like cures like, dilution increases potency, and this also works on miasms. Now, there are many things that activate healing responses in diluted form, including the elements. Many elements are toxic, but in diluted form, they bring about miraculous activations. Today, we are talking about Mercury. So I really love the parallel between the periodic table of the elements and the Anahata codes. Much in the same way that the periodic table of elements organizes elements found in nature, sort of as if they were on a shelf, depending on how you arrange them, as if you're in a kitchen where you could just take the ingredient down and use it. You can think of the periodic table as nature's list of ingredients. So they're arranged by a few factors which determine what it is. They each have an atomic number, and it's arranged from low atomic number to high. The number of protons. Is it positively charged or negative? And the protons determine how many electrons orbit around the atom, which in effect determines the chemistry of the atom. It includes the reactivity as well as the electronegativity. It includes the mass and the density. Moving from the left across, the atomic size decreases because of the additional nuclear charge given the additional neutrons and protons in the nucleus. So regardless, you don't need to know science to understand that it's like a shelf of spices from nature, given the elements found, and it's organized in this way. So too is the Anahata Codes, an organic library of definition in rows and columns, sort of like the periodic table, which is why I love this so much, this category. You can find many of the elements used in homeopathic medicine. And so while we are in the homeopathic section, the actual thing that we are describing is found in the periodic table of elements. Specifically, this week, we are discussing mercury. So let's dive in about the properties homeopathically of mercury. So let's take a deep dive into the mercurius remedy as profiled by Jonathan Hardy of the British Homeopathic Association. I will put the link to this information in the description of the video. Mercury is an element which has been known to man and used in medicine for millennia. Used homeopathically, it is a very deep-acting and wide-ranging medicine, as is often the case when we see fascinating parallels between the chemical nature, properties, toxicology, as well as associated mythology and psychology, and the homeopathic application of the substance. It is a member of the 12th group of the periodic table with zinc and cadmium. Mercury is the only common metal that is liquid at ordinary temperature. The ancient Chinese and Hindus called it liquid silver. It was one of the most highly prized of all trading commodities in the ancient world and is reflected in our modern words merchandise and merchant. Mercury is the heaviest of all known liquids, weighing nearly 14 times as much as an equal volume of water. Stone, iron, and even lead can float on its surface. How cool is that? It has many uses, including thermometers, barometers, street lighting and signs, electrical apparatus, pesticides, dental preparations, paints, batteries, and more. Now, I want to mention mercury is highly toxic. Mercury is most poisonous when inhaled, but dangerous amounts can be ingested and absorbed through the skin over time. And so what's interesting is our look at what it does toxically to your body in very diluted instances actually helps those very things. So as I describe the toxicology to you, you can quickly see that the homeopathic version would aid in the treatment of any of this. So toxic amounts of mercury cause brain damage and nerve degeneration. The homeopathic help brain damage and nerve degeneration. Excessive salivation, loss of teeth, muscle tremors is the toxic end. The homeopathic end. Solution to excessive salivation, loss of teeth, and muscle tremors. I'm going to continue on with the toxicology, and you can transcribe the remedy to the meaning as I'm describing everything that the toxic levels cause. You can understand that the homeopathic version helps your body to right those wrongs. So metallic taste in the mouth, thirst, abdominal pain, vomiting, bloody diarrhea, respiratory symptoms, kidney damage, emotional instability, irritability, excessive shyness, lack of confidence. Some nervous system symptoms including insomnia, loss of memory, slow reflexes, numbness. If there is restlessness, a sense of hurry, an extreme mental state into paranoia with a feeling of being attacked from behind and that everyone is an enemy. So all of this points to a lot of assistance that mercury can give you in the homeopathic version. And there's also some really cool ancient myths and uses that I want to mention, because remember, when you install an assisting frequency, you are tapping into the raw components of the collective definition from the subquantum domain. So everything that's ever been defined inside of Mercury's properties is accessible through your resonance remembrance, your activation. This includes the ancient myths and uses. So as I read through this, think through anything that would be useful for you, and when we install the code, that is what you will most likely activate, due to the fact that this is a self-directed biological transformation. There is no force, it's what you need and activated as such. And so think now to the ancient Romans who named the mercury because of quick movements, droplets on a smooth surface. It reminded them of the cunning and resourceful Mercury, their god of merchants, travelers, and thieves. The planet Mercury probably received its name because it moves so quickly across the sky and it's elusive to observe. In Greek mythology, Mercury was personified as Hermes, the messenger of the gods. Now, he was quick to act on an idea and ready for mischief. He is, of course, represented as a young man with winged hat and winged sandals bearing a caduceus. That is an ancient wand, so there is alchemy that's woven into this code. Now, Hermes epitomizes the power of spoken word. He helped the three fates compose the alphabet. Hello! Now, alchemists equated Mercury with concepts of fluency and transmutation. In astrology, Mercury was defined as intellectual energy, fitting subtle and ingenious people in constant and busy fellows, poets, orators, and philosophers. So let's talk about the remedy. And this is for instability on all levels. And there's 55 factors. You should look them all up. And we'll just review a few of them. So I'm going to go ahead and keep reading here from the Jonathan Hardy Mercurius British Homeopathic Association. Fluidity is seen in patients who require mercury. And his first mercury patient was actually one of his first patients ever, a young man complaining of chronic fatigue. He had swollen lymphatic glands in his neck, groin, extensive night sweats, memory loss, and upon examination he was trembling slightly and his tongue was coated a dirty color and had a very bad breath. He complained of restlessness and anxiety. So this Mercurius will cure you if you have anxiety, restlessness, insomnia, chronic fatigue, etc. I remember at the time being so impressed by the dramatic improvement in his overall state. So let's see what else it treated. There was another person who was brought to him who had ulcerative colitis. So chronic symptoms of diarrhea, mucus, blood in the stool, loss of appetite, abdominal pain and fatigue. So that's going to support that. Any inflammatory bowel disease. And if you are timid and shy or blush easily in social situations, again, pointing to the toxicity cure with lack of confidence, etc. Again, whatever the toxic version does is what the homeopathic version will spark a spontaneous healing response through the remedy. High blood pressure, facial neuralgia, let's see, bone pain, missing teeth, and bad breath. So there you go, a lot of stuff. If you're tired, if you have anxiety, you will gain energy, motivation. If you have any neuralgia, that will disappear. Now again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying that this is a done deal and you should go get the homeopathic version of Mercurius. I'm simply reading what they have found to be true from this website, which I will link in the description of the video. Now the cool part is, with the assisting frequencies, you don't need to go buy the physical version, and I'll tell you how right now. We are opening up a portal to the energy and information, the energetic signature of what makes Mercury, Mercury from the subquantum domain. Just as it has atomic information on the periodic table and protons and neutrons, it has an energetic signature that is accessible through your intention, your heart chakra, and the assisting frequency, which is the Anahata Code. So we're going to install this, and you will activate what I call resonance remembrance based on anything that is found in the energy and information of what makes Mercury, Mercury, in order to activate a healing response. It is extraordinary. Again, this is self-activated. There is no force. Let's install it now. Simply place your left palm up and your right hand on your heart. We ask for, align with, and allow this Anahata Code. With gratitude, we activate the assisting frequency for the element Mercury. 80-8198-82-8368. 80-8198-82-8368. 80-8198-82-8368. 80-8198-82-8368. 80-8198-82-8368. 80-8198-82-8368. 80-8198-82-8368. Now both hands on your heart and breathe with gratitude. It is so. That's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you want weekly codes delivered, be sure to click the bell icon and like this video. Until next week.